The Star Drinkers of Midnight. Lumi and Silas stood at the edge of the woods as the sun began to set. The sky turned a sleepy shade of purple, and the first few stars blinked into view. "Look!" Lumi whispered, pointing to a trail of shimmering silver dust on the ground. It led straight toward an old, vine-covered stone wall. Silas held his unlit lantern tightly. They felt a strange, magical pull coming from the shadows of the trees. They followed the silver trail until they found a hidden wooden door tucked behind thick green ivy. Silas reached out and pulled the heavy vines away, revealing a tiny keyhole shaped like a crescent moon. "Do you think it's locked?" he asked in a low voice. But as soon as Lumi touched the handle, the door creaked open with a soft, musical hum, inviting them into the secret space beyond. Inside the garden, everything was quiet and gray. Tall stalks held heavy, closed pods that looked like sleeping bells. There were no bright colors or sweet smells like the gardens they knew at home. "They look so sad," Lumi said, kneeling on the path. She reached out to touch a velvet soft bud, but it didn't move. The garden seemed to be holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. Suddenly, the clouds drifted apart, and a bright, round moon peeked through the branches of a willow tree. A single beam of silver light hit the center of the garden. "Silas, look at the grass!" Lumi cried. Wherever the moonlight touched the ground, tiny white sparks began to dance and twinkle. Silas looked up at the sky, realizing the garden was starting to wake up as the world got darker. From the shadows of the willow tree, a large, fuzzy moth with wings like stained glass fluttered down. It circled the children before landing softly on Lumi's outstretched finger. "Hello, Micah," Lumi whispered, knowing the creature's name instinctively. Micah's wings shimmered with a soft golden dust that smelled like fresh rain and old magic. The moth's tiny eyes sparkled like diamonds in the moonlight. Micah fluttered away from Lumi and began to dance around Silas's head, leaving a trail of golden glitter in the air. She hummed a tiny melodic tune that sounded like wind chimes. Silas realized that Micah was trying to tell them something. "The flowers aren't sleeping because they're tired," whispered Silas, watching the moth. "They're waiting for the stars. They are star drinkers." But then a thick blanket of clouds rolled across the sky, hiding the moon and the stars. The silver sparks on the grass began to fade, and the gray flower buds shivered in the dark. "If the starlight can't reach them, they won't bloom," Lumi said, looking up at the gray sky. They had to find a way to help the garden catch the light, even with the clouds in the way. In the very center of the garden sat an old, dusty bird bath made of silver. Lumi and Silas ran to it and began to rub the bowl with the sleeves of their sweaters. They polished and scrubbed until the metal shone like a bright mirror. "It's working!" Silas shouted. The polished silver caught a tiny bit of light from behind the clouds and bounced it across the dark garden like a flashlight. As the reflected light touched the gray pods, they burst open one by one. Brilliant blues, glowing pinks, and neon greens filled the air. The flowers didn't just open, they glowed with their own light, feeding on the hidden energy of the stars. Micah danced joyfully between the petals. Silas watched in wonder as a flower shaped like a star turned a vibrant, glowing blue right before his eyes. The mystery of the midnight garden was solved. It was a place where the light of the night was turned into the colors of the day. As the first hint of morning appeared in the distance, Lumi and Silas slipped back through the moon gate. "Our secret," Lumi whispered as the door clicked shut. Silas nodded, feeling a tiny bit of warm stardust still glowing in his pocket as they walked home.